Okay, today we're going to show you how to measure and install a couple glass block windows in a sandstone foundation with wood frames. As you can see, these wooden frames, they've pretty much seen their day. They're all rotted out, soaking wet. So we're going to get rid of that and put some nice solid glass block windows in with 2 air vents. First step you're going to want to do is take a measurement. What you want to do is measure from the stone to the stone. You don't want to measure the window that's in the opening, you want to actually measure the opening. Glass block's a little bit different than a replacement window. So let's just call this one like 33 and a half. Go with like 17 and an eighth. Glass block comes every 2 inches, so what you have to do is get the biggest possible window you can to fit in the opening. Start by removing the old wooden frame. These ones are pretty much ready to fall out, they're so bad. In some cases you'll have to use a saw to cut the bottom, cut the top, get them out like that. These ones are pretty bad. What you want to do is be careful. You can see there's a couple chips out of this header already. The house is pretty old, but a lot of newer houses or even houses that are well taken care of, you want to protect that when you're taking the old frame out. So you just get yourself a piece of wood, put it between your prying bar, whatever you're going to be using, to protect that foundation when you're removing the old frame. Here's an example here of 5 or 6 glass block panels, a little bit larger size. So here they are, they're mixing the mortar. It's just a regular gray cement pre-mix. You buy at any big box store. You can use a cordless drill, just put your setting on 1 or low. Put about 3 inches of water in the bottom of a 5-gallon bucket. Just add the mortar slowly. What he's doing here is adding a little white straight type S mortar that has waterproofing in it. It's not really necessary in most cases, but since this foundation's so bad, I'm putting a little bit of extra additive in there. Get your opening all cleaned out. As you can see, there's 2 spacers on the bottom. What this is going to do is get that wind up off the windowsill a little bit and center it in the opening a little better. You can use just about anything for this. You can cut yourself some little wedges or blocks of wood. Sometimes you'll have a 1/4 inch on top of bottom, 1/2 inch, and sometimes a 3/4 of an inch around the window. It just depends on how oddball of a size the opening is. Sometimes the block windows will fit in there perfectly, but really doesn't matter as long as you don't want to get more than like an inch around the window. That means you really screwed up the measurement. Set the window in place, have somebody on the inside step back and take a good look at it. You can use the level, but most houses are off, so it's better to eyeball it. What we do is we take 2 wedges. Instead of hitting them straight in, we'll put them on top so they close on each other. You set them on top of the window like that, and you hit them together. That'll wedge your window in place, and you won't have wedges sticking out of the window that you have to come back and pull out later. Here's the trick of the trade right here. This is a masonry bag that you fill with mortar and you squeeze it like you're decorating a cake. You want to cut the tip of it, depending on how big your gap is around the window. We usually have a variety of bags. We have them cut anywhere from the size of a dime up to the size of a quarter. What he's doing there is he's pumping that mortar way in above that window and way under the window. If you have someone helping you or another bag on the inside, they can do that simultaneously with you. If not, just pump it in as far as you can and go inside and do the same thing. Get yourself a bucket of water and a sponge, squeeze it out pretty good, especially moist day today. Just take that mortar around there and feather it around and dress that foundation up a little bit. Get that mortar to blend in. Some pretty good chunks of foundation missing out of this one. concludes the tutorial of installing glass block windows into a wood frame. Thanks for watching.